What's up, traders? Welcome back. It's Kenya with BK Trading Academy. And in this training video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process of a successful scalp that I'm in right now that I've taken several scalps on today. I'm in a live session, live New York trading session. We actually traded live with our students today. We trade live with them every day. I'm going to walk you through our private community and show you the communication I had with them. I'm very transparent in my trading. My husband is as well. And we prioritize risk management and so many other skills, but risk management is my number one thing that I always want to help students grasp and just master because I believe that it is truly the turning point. I want to show you that when you're in a trade, when you should quickly cut a loss. I want to show you from start to end of how do you approach the charts to even find a high probability setup. So let's go ahead and hop into Euro JPY. I'm going to walk you through starting from the daily, and we'll probably go a little bit higher up just to do some top-down analysis and show you how we would approach this trade. So looking at the daily, I'm going to move up to the monthly, and let's just kind of get an idea of what's going on. So as you can see here, we've been in a very strong uptrend where price has given us higher highs and higher lows. We had an impulse correction, impulse, and look where the price has stopped and paused. So could we get back to 149.40 area? Absolutely, we could. But as you can see here, for the past 2 months, now we're getting a retest. This is where we're rejecting in this area. If we drill down, so let's drill down to the actual weekly time frame and see what we're seeing here. Now you can see on the weekly where the price is retesting this high. It broke a little bit above, just a wick right above it. And now we possibly could be getting a double top pattern coming into play, possibly, where we might form this M pattern, or what we call also a double top, and see the price start to come down a bit, right? But overall, on the weekly and the daily, we are still in an uptrend. So preferably, we want to be taking long opportunities because we want to trade with a bullish trend. Until this market structure is broken on the lower time frame, then we want to remain bullish. Now, yesterday we had the CPI report, and we had a lot of movement on pairs based off of that report. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to drill down. I see that this is the weekly high. We rejected off of it, and price is starting to correct. Now, if you look at this weekly candle, so look at this weekly impulse candle. If we simply take our Fibonacci retracement tool and we measure from the low to the high, if we're looking for a 50% fib retracement, that would be right around at this zone right here, which was also previous resistance, which could also form support. So let's go ahead and remove that, and now you'll see that clearly. So considering that the price has dropped from this resistance here at about this weekly candle, that's about 300 pips that it has dropped, okay, in this current week. So we want to continue to drill down, all right? So let's continue to drill down, and now you can see that I'm on the daily. So what we did was we set an alert at this area for a potential trade. But I also want to highlight a mistake that I made this morning in our session, quickly cut a loss from it, but was able to recover and also still see an opportunity. That's very important that we highlight. I'm not here to be perfect, guys. I am not a perfect trader. My goal is to show you how I'm consistent every day and showing up and sticking to my trading plan, which is what I always want to model for other people now that I'm successful in this industry. So I'm going to show you exactly how I did that, and we will go step by step. So we had an alert here right at about this area, 142, I think 70 or so. And as you can see here, one of the mistakes that I made is that I was looking for, after this drop or pullback into structure, I was hoping for the price to hold on a lower time frame at this previous daily support, overlooking the fact that this is still a very strong reversal area and price could come and retest anywhere within this area or wick off of it. So considering that, my initial entry wasn't the best. I actually was able to get in on the scalp. However, I called an intraday because I'm trading KISS 2.0 strategy, which is a scalping and intraday strategy. So after I had closed a few successful scalps, we were waiting for the TP target on the intraday opportunity, and it actually didn't hit. It continued to break lower. But I'm going to show you exactly what happened. So let me just go ahead and switch into I'm going to show you our private community really quickly, and you can see exactly kind of what I went through with students. So initially, sorry, we have so many messages in here, but I'm going to just scroll up from when I first dropped the opportunity. So I put, let's see, that's Euro AUD. So EJ. So safe on EJ, 5-minute confirmation. So we started in our live trading session. We trade daily with our students in live trading so that they can take the profitable trades that we take, and we can also coach them step by step on what they should be doing. So we had an opportunity. You can see my chart here where I highlighted on this 1 hour. We had 1 hour demand, and we also had a successful 5-minute confirmation for the KISS strategy. This was a successful trade, right? So we got a successful scalp, and I'm going to walk through the rules with you. Here was our 15-minute setup. Okay. So I'm showing you the actual proof of how this whole thing set up. I'm going to walk you through it step by step. So that's the 15-minute. I told them we're still safe here on EJ. I'm over here racking up. Basically, I had already closed a number of pips in profit. We had another student who was in, and she was doing great too. And then all of a sudden, so look, everything was going great. And then eventually I notified them that I was cutting a loss. So I said successful on the scalp side, but intraday failed. And now a KISS setup all over again. So you can see here that eventually it broke through this 1 hour demand, continued to push lower. We're still in a reversal zone though. So this is where I always tell students you have to have some type of game plan before you go into the trade so that you know exactly where you're cutting your loss, where you're going to make up for your drawdown, or what is your execution plan going to be. If you don't know that, you're going to find yourself constantly just putting in trades. Eventually you're over leveraged and you're trading stressful because you're not following your trading plan. So let's go ahead and go to the charts, and I'm going to walk you step by step through how do you approach this trade. So now that we have our daily time frame, we know that we have an uptrend. So we have a market that has given us higher highs and higher lows. We identified this key level on the weekly time frame. So why this level? Again, so we know that we have an impulse leg here, right? We have an impulse leg here. And if I even just turn this to a line chart, you can see that impulse leg right there. And I can even take my fib on this line chart and bring it right up to about here. And you can see the 50% Fibonacci retracement area is right around here where it aligns with my key level that I highlighted. If I turn this back to a candles chart, you can see now that we're getting rejection right near that 50% fib, which is also a nice confluence for this particular trade. But with KISS 2.0, the very first thing we want to do is find our directional bias. So on the daily, we have an uptrend. The second thing we want to do is identify our key level. So we have our key level, which we identified on the weekly daily. So on the daily, you can see here that after this impulse, if we're expecting a correction, where is it going to correct to? So if we look here, you can see that this was a previous strong turning point in the market. And this area also aligns with our trend line support. Now, I made a mistake, as I mentioned to you, and I actually set an alert here and was looking for an opportunity here. So we were a few pips off, but the price actually pushed down to retest right near this zone here. Okay. So that was a mistake. So what happened is I'm going to show you. So I'm a scalper and I also swing trade as well. But remember, KISS is also an intraday opportunity. So after you find your directional bias on the daily, you find your key level. As an intraday trader, you're going to drop down to the 4 hour. So here is your 4 hour. And now you can see, guys, and sometimes this just happened. Nothing's perfect. We are not perfect. But if I can stress anything to you, our number one goal is to always control our risk. That's it. What's your max dollar percent or your max dollar or your max percent that you are going to stick to every single time when you trade every single day in the market? If you stick to that, I promise you your profits will take care of itself, even when you're cutting small losses. Okay. So notice on this 4 hour, right? We have an uptrend. Price gave us a pullback, pushed higher, and now continue to push. And now we're at structure on the 4 hour, right? So I was looking for this 4 hour or 1 hour support to hold, overlooking that this is still a reversal zone. So if I just put this line here, so look here. So this was our entry somewhere up in here. So right off of there, that's where we entered. And then eventually the price continued to break lower. So wow, that looks about 57 pips or so. I don't know if it was that much, but probably was actually, because I think it happened really quickly. But I know on the scalp side, I was very successful, and I'll show you where. So if I add this 50 MA, because our students, we use the 50 MA for confluence as well, you can see that we actually got a dip below the 50 MA, but I told them it just might wick within the zone and turn around. So we didn't have the best entry. And this is why, even though I can trade with up to a $40 lot size in my account, I'm constantly trading with mini lots. I like to trade with dollar lot sizes and usually $3 lot sizes at multiple times, but I try to stay between $1 to $3. And I find that that is my advantage, where I probably could make a lot more money on my account, but because of what I've been through, that's just where I am right now and where I'm comfortable trading. So I do very well, I feel, and I feel that my return makes me feel that it's a good return for the amount of work that I put in. And I think that's exactly where we want to be. That's where we want to arrive to, right? So I try not to let greed control my execution and what I'm doing in the market. And I really worked for a long time on just discipline, emotions, and being consistent with my position sizing and sticking to my risk. So that's exactly where you want to be. So guys, as an intraday trader, you would be executing on the 4 hour. As a scalper, you are going to be executing on the 1 hour. Now, why the 1 hour? So the 1 hour, because I am sitting down, I'm scalping within that hour. That is why I scalp off the 1 hour. However, I make my entry on the 15-minute time frame. So that's my preference. So with KISS, remember that you are on the daily time frame, finding your directional bias, your key level. Once you are notified that price gets to that area, you then want to drop down to the lower time frame. If you're intraday trading, you're going to intraday trade off the 4 hour. And if you're scalping, you're going to scalp off the 1 hour. Once the price gets to your key level, now look guys, you see how this price broke below, right? It broke below and look where it stopped. So my mistake was that, well, you can see this is actually where our entry was. So previously this morning, this was our scalp entry right here. And if I simply just add my KISS confirmations on here, so this is the second thing you want to do. Once price gets to your zone, you then want to drop down to your 5 and 15 minutes. So see how I have that circled right there? If I go to the 5 minute, you can see on the 5 minute, this was a successful KISS confirmation. So with KISS, we look for a 5 and 15-minute confluence confirmation. When I say confluence, that means extra confirmation as to why we should enter that trade. Okay, so on the 5 minute, we had a Bollinger Band hit. Our RSI was at the 20 level and starting to point up. Stochastic was down and starting to point up. And also our MACD was the last to come together. We had a successful scalp. I closed multiple trades in profit. Okay, then what happened? Eventually, so once you have a 5-minute confirmation, you switch to the 15-minute. Look, we had a nice 15-minute and then we broke lower, right? We broke lower. And I didn't see that initially as a possibility because I ignored one thing, which I usually don't do, but we all make mistakes. So this is what I failed to look at. So let me show you. Let's go back to that daily time frame and let's just look at this. So look, guys, even though I was focused too much on this candle from what day was this? September 9th. You see that? So I was looking for the actual retest and I was like, oh, you know what? This will be near the 50% fib, but actually this would have been a better entry. As you can see, look when the market came here and look how much it pushed down. It was also support in the zone and look how much the market pushed up. So this is just a better area. So sometimes you are not going to get the best entry. And all I can do is tell you, like I told our students this morning, I think this was a great setup and it's a good opportunity to learn from. I actually re-entered off of this low here. So I was able to recover my drawdown. And the only reason why I did that, because I usually won't go in to recover a trade that I lost from. That would be revenge trading. But the reason why I did it is because I was well below my 2% max risk on my account. I had flexibility to open more trades and still trade for the day. And I saw a good opportunity to still go in and trade that pair. So again, as you can see here, price came down to that structure that I mentioned right within here. And this is where it started to wick. So let me show you step by step. I'm going to show you the communication that I continue to have with students. And also, I'm a little bit up over like $900 for the day. And I don't even really want to stress that because it doesn't matter how much I'm up over. But what I want to show you is what's possible through consistency. A lot of students who have followed us here have followed us for years. Some of them have become students. Some of you are still watching. You love what we do. You love the strategies. And I want to continue to show you that this works. There's no way that I would be trading full time or, you know, if this didn't work for me, guys, I could not have an academy with my husband. I could not do this full time. I could not lead you every single day. So it's not hard to see when someone is successful at what they do, especially in this industry. I think that once you become successful, you kind of know what to look for in others and you can tell who knows what they're doing. So as I scroll here, I just want to show you exactly the communication I had with students. And so we talked about mistakes, and this is what I love about having a community. You need a community with that you can thrive. So one of our students, he says, I guess I should have been wary of JPY pairs, like you said. So we've been a little bit weary of JPY pairs because of its weakness lately. However, and USD is strong right now, right? But we had an opportunity. And the thing is that when you have confirmation, you don't want to fear taking that trade because of the only reason why you're going to fear is because you don't have confidence in your system. You haven't practiced it enough. You haven't journaled it enough. You haven't studied data from the past to show that what you do is majority right most of the time. And so in this situation, it just takes a lot of practice. And even when you have mistakes, you have to find ways to learn from them. But if you don't have that data, you're not going to be able to learn. Okay. So you can see the dialogue that I had here with students. And I said, but wait, this looks like a successful trade. Did you enter at resistance around whatever? So we communicated and we pointed out exactly where the error was. And then I showed them how, I did close a loss. I closed a loss, but I also took a lot of successful positions when we were live trading this morning. And then I went back in once I confirmed the setup. So here we go. And I journaled this for future reference. So as you can see here, here's where we came down rejected and we had another KISS setup all over again. So here was our 15-minute confirmation. So for those of you who are new to KISS 2.0, it's a scalping and intraday strategy. I turned $500 consistently with this strategy every single day. I don't strive to make 500 a day or 1,000 a day or anything like that. My number one goal is just to control my risk management. And what I've discovered is that with the dollar amount of account that I trade with, I tend to make on average a certain amount every day when I swing trade and scalp during a certain time. Okay. So that's kind of how you figure this thing out. Cause when I first started, guys, my goal was $20 a day. And I said, when I can make $20 a day, then I will be super excited. I will go full force with this thing and I know that it works, right? So, and that's what I did. I went from $20 a day to $30 a day to $50 a day to $100 a day. And once I got to $100 a day, I was on full mode, like serious committed trader, because that was just the turning point for me where I knew I could do very well in this industry. So crawl before you walk, embrace those low lot sizes, and really learn from your opportunities. Going back to the chart, guys, I just wanted to make sure that I walk you through this step by step and really wanted to point out from start to finish, how do we identify a setup? So I've gone through those rules and I hope that you have learned from this opportunity. Remember that when you are trading KISS, and for those of you who are looking for a profitable strategy, it's an amazing strategy. If you go to bktradingacademy.com and you click on products, there is a 65-page training manual on KISS 2.0. It is amazing. I've had so much feedback from people in the industry who have said this is awesome, and a lot of people have been successful with this strategy. You can go on our website and hear the testimony. We have so many testimonials we haven't even shared. So all you have to do is really embrace the content that we have and allow us to guide you step by step. We're totally transparent. We're here to hold your hand and really help you through the phase, and just be there as a mentor, like someone we wished for when we were growing. So guys, I hope that this was helpful. If you have any comments on this strategy, or if you need help or have questions, just drop them in the comments and I'll be so happy to answer. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget that if you are new here, to turn on notifications and subscribe so that you don't miss the next upload. I'll see you guys in the next training video.